Yes. Yes. It is you. It's you. It's you. Yes. It is officially 3 o'clock Eastern time. How y'all doing? My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. Today's date is Sunday, October 30th, 2022. This is Devil's Day, Devil's Night, whatever you want to call it. Joining me off camera, we've got two in the house this week. We've got Dad over on the couch, and we've got Amy off camera. You haven't been in the Sunday video for weeks. You can stick around for a while. I don't know. But today is the final Sunday of the month of October. You'll have to excuse the noise in the background. Dad's chowing on some snacks. I hope you've all been doing well. We've been doing well. I'll let them speak for themselves. I can say I've been doing pretty good, all things considered. It's been kind of a week. Dad, how was your week? Good? It was interesting. How about you, Amy? So. Well, for me, it was kind of, what's that? Things could be a little better. Oh, yeah, things can always be better. But they can also definitely be worse. So we remain optimistic that things can be better. And, they will be eventually. So for those of you who have been paying attention to the Michigan State game that was last night, well, Spartans got their asses handed to them. If you're a football fanatic, unlike myself, they ended up losing. Spartans lost to the Wolverines, 29-7. That was the final score. And I had read on Facebook, and I mentioned this early this morning in a Daily Rant recording, that, there's bad sportsmanship going on. I was utterly disgusted reading the article about the fight that had broken out, the physical altercation between Spartan players and Wolverine players. Come on, Sparties, get your shit together. That was awful. It was disgusting. And that coach, as I said in the Daily Rant this morning, that coach has got to be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed if I was a coach of a team who couldn't act, a team of grown men who couldn't act civilized and mature. You lost a game, lick your wounds, go back home, have a drink, get a nap, and wake up again and start the day. Start over. It's a new day. You can redeem yourselves. No. Sore losers. And, I'm not a football fanatic. I'm not really a sports guy at all. Dad watches, football and all that stuff. I really personally don't care for it. But I have Spartan items like with the emblem on it because, as I pointed out any number of times, the only reason I have Spartan items in the house is because my pediatric oncologists are Spartan graduates, or they're MSU graduates rather. So that's why I keep Spartan items in the house. It's got nothing to do with sports. Got nothing to do with the football team, basketball team, whatever team. It's got nothing to do with that at all. It's basically just because my pediatric oncologists are MSU graduates. That's basically the only reason why I have MSU items. But that was really fucking lousy last night. I was so embarrassed by it, I just turned the fucking TV on Looney Tunes. Yeah. Dad got so upset by the score. He was swearing at the TV and stupid, and it was stupid. It was just stupid. Got one guy 6-on-1. We're gonna beat his ass. Well, I'm laughing at the fact that you decided to watch Tom and Jerry because you said fuck this shit, and you turned the channel to Boomerang, and you wanted to watch Tom and Jerry. That was, but what happened after the game was awful. I mean, you guys could have, accepted the loss. You could learn from it. You could say, you know what? Or you could have said, you know what? Tomorrow's a new day. We lost, accept it, move on. But they don't have dignity. And I it hurts me to say that because, I had a great deal of respect for the Spartan team. I've always been a Sparty kind of a person. Like I said, because of my oncologist. But other than that, you guys, I mean, no class, no shred of dignity.
A lot of my friends like the Spartans, but after last
And
night,
yeah,
I trusted with them.
that's awful. It was just an awful display of just being a sore loser.
No sports.
And when I recorded the daily rant, I had spotted an error when I was speaking because I had spoken too fast. I said MSU versus Spartans. Well, MSU is the Spartans. I meant to say Spartans versus Wolverines. So that was the correction I wanted to make. But that was a deplorable display of people who just couldn't take a loss. And that's why I did the daily rant this morning. For those of you who listened to the daily rant that I had posted this morning, that sportsmanship has gone out the fucking window in 2022, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that we are now at this point where it doesn't matter if you win or lose, you're going to get a participation trophy, and there's no such thing as losers. We're all winners. No, you fucking lost. You just lost. The best team won. As I had written on my Facebook last night, you know what? I don't have an emotional attachment to sports, and that is exactly why my point had been proven. When you have an emotional attachment to sports teams or whatever, things tend to go awry when you don't get your way. When you lose, you want to, start fights and point fingers and shift blame. It's bullshit. It's a fucking football game. Now, I don't know. Amy said something about there were some suspensions and fines being handed out. Amy, is that what you were saying? And some people were actually arrested. So assault charges are being sought, which should happen. You can't put your fucking hands on people just because you lose a football game. Come on. But in good sportsmanship, seems we're talking about sportsmanship, I will say congratulations to the Wolverines. You took home, the Paul Bunyan Trophy is back in Ann Arbor. So congratulations to the Wolverines. You guys did a good job. Now, anybody else who's a Sparty fan would normally say, well, fuck them Wolverines, they fucking cheated and blah, blah, blah. I'm not here to do that. We're not here to do that. Amy's a Wolverine fan. Dad and I are Sparty fans. But, the Wolverines won. Yeah. It's been a rivalry for Michigan for any number of years, for decades. It's been a rivalry game. But, yeah, congratulations to the Wolverines, Ann Arbor. They took home the Paul Bunyan Trophy. Good job, guys. So moving on, there are a couple of things I need to announce. One of those being the death of a rock and roll legend, Jerry Lee Lewis. The Killer has passed away at the age of 87. Love Jerry Lee Lewis. I remember the first time I heard Great Balls of Fire, I think it was at a wedding reception when I was a kid. And or might have even been on the radio. I know I remember hearing it as a kid for the first time, and I was, who's that guy? And Dad says, oh, that's the Killer. The Killer? What are you talking about? Jerry Lee Lewis, the only killer in rock and roll music. Okay, I didn't know they called him the Killer, but oh yeah, that's his nickname, the Killer. He was 87. He had hits like Great Balls of Fire and Whole Lot of Shaking going on. And he did a cover version of the Big Bopper's 1958 hit called Chantilly Lace. He did that back in 72. I thought it was prior to that, but no, it was in 1972 when the Killer come out with Chantilly Lace, his version of it, which it's a pretty good version. He had a lot of good songs, and the rock and roll world has taken another loss. But 87 is a good life. Thank you, Jerry Lee, for all the music you had given us over the years and dazzled generations with your fantastic melodies on the piano and the jumpy sound that you had given to your songs. And for those of you who may not be aware, Jerry Lee Lewis is a cousin of Mickey Gilley, who also passed away. And Mickey and Jerry Lee are cousins of Jimmy Swaggart. They're all cousins every which way. Not sure if you knew that, but now you know. Jerry Lee Lewis is gone at the age of 87. And last week we lost, was it last week or the week before we lost Angela Lansbury? She was 90, I think 96. I think she was 96 when she passed away. Tammy Wynette. Now she's been gone for Loretta Lynn. She's been gone for a while now. I think I announced that on my I almost said Facebook, YouTube channel here. I put together a little video that I forgot to edit, by the way, because I had recorded the video with my Apple iPhone and I just went ahead and uploaded it to my channel. And I was meaning to edit, so that way you couldn't see me push the stop button. And in fact, I forgot to edit and the video was already released. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just leave it up. But we've lost a lot of talent this year, a lot of talent. So Jerry Lee Lewis, gone at 87. The other thing I wanted to talk about, which it kind of, it's been an interesting point to this past week. Apparently, I can't look at employees. Now, those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, you'll know what I'm talking about. But someone at the local gas station, one of the female employees, had a colossal shit fit because I was looking at her. Now, when you work in retail, you have to make eye contact with your customers. And generally, when I talk to people, I make eye contact with them. I mean, I'm not making eye contact with my dad because I'm not speaking to my dad right now.
Right.
However, any other time, when I talk to my dad or even when I talk to Amy, I make eye contact. They know that. That's just having what's called people skills. And I'm sorry. I am so sorry that all of you younger generation out there watching this, you have no people skills. You don't know how to look at people when you speak or when they speak to you. They make eye contact. I'm sorry that you come from a different time or a different generation. But in my generation, when we talk to people, we look at them. We make eye contact. Now, this young girl who works at the gas station had a fucking conniption fit because, he makes me feel uncomfortable just by staring at me. You know what? Shut the fuck up or get a job at a factory in Chesaning. There's plenty of factory jobs in Chesaning. Go get one. Then you ain't got to deal with, customers staring at you, making you feel uncomfortable.
Get a job in a strip joint because that number work.
No, I'm being serious. You cannot. It's this younger generation. They are victims of everything. They are victims of sunlight, for Christ's sake. You can't look at them. You can't talk to them. You can't so much as I don't know, smell their perfume.
When you talk to them, they fucking snob you off anyways, like you're better than everybody.
It's not even just that. It's you can't look at them. You can't talk to them. You can't. If they so much as know that you're in the same vicinity as they are, they run and hide like scared little bitches. This generation is fucked. And the worst thing of all of that is the fact that grown adults mimic the younger generation. I don't know if it's the older generation, just fighting getting older by acting young, but it's really sad. Grown adults should know better, and you kids have a lot of fucking growing up to do. Quit whining about stupid, trivial shit and get over yourselves. So I looked at a female employee. You know what? Tough shit. I go to the gas station. I put my money down to get gas, and then I'm out the fucking door. Too bad if you don't like it. Tough break. You know what? Then get a job at a factory where you don't have to look at anybody but your coworkers and your boss. Problem solved. Don't work in retail if you can't handle people looking at you. And not to mention that after she told me that she didn't have a boyfriend, I get a message, a veiled threat from some jackass on Facebook Messenger saying he's going to have me indefinitely banned from the gas station if I don't stop liking her Facebook post. Well, guess what, jackass? I fucking blocked her on Facebook. So you can kiss my lily white ass and fuck off into purple oblivion. Yeah, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but it's easy to talk big shit when you don't have to look at a person. and make veiled threats, which I'm not afraid. I'll be back at the gas station to get more gas. And if she can't handle the fact that I look at her and make eye contact when I'm paying for my gas or when I tell her what I want, then maybe she should quit. Again, get a fucking factory job. Plenty of them around Chesaning. You know, I'm sick of this petty, childish nonsense coming from people who are old enough, clearly old enough to know better. And they choose to act like immature little snobby ass, whiny ass brats. I'm sick of it. But anyway, that's my take on that. So how are you, Dad?
I'm good.
You good? He's just sitting there. I'm good. I don't know. I want to give you guys an opportunity to speak. Amy's been absent from my Sunday video updates for about the past month or so. She's not getting off the hook that easily. Now she's got to stay. Now you got to keep your warm ass planted on that couch, and you got to have some input. You're not getting off the hook that easily this week. It's the last Sunday in October. You got to stay for this one. We do have plans this week, as a matter of fact. Of course, tomorrow's Halloween. I don't know. We don't have any plans for Halloween. One of my cousins messaged me before I went live, and she asked me if we pass out candy. We don't pass out candy. Well, for two reasons. One, because no one comes out in this area, and for two, I'd probably end up eating it all before Halloween. So we're not passing out candy. But we typically don't pass out candy. But yeah, we're on a back road. We're on a back road. No one comes out here to do their trick or treating. Everybody usually hangs out around town, like Chesaning, Oakley, Owasso, St. Charles, not in the country. But tomorrow is Halloween, and I hope you all have a safe and wonderful Halloween. There's all kinds of horrific shit going on with Halloween candy. I don't know if you've been watching the news, but now they're talking about fentanyl in the candy, and it's terrible. I mean, you know, when we were kids, yes, we had to, you know, the parents had to check the candy, check the apples for razor blades, and check for you know, tampered with wrappers on candy. We had to check all that shit. Yeah, and now we're dealing with fentanyl. Now people are putting fentanyl in the Skittles and the Smarties and all that shit, or the M&Ms or whatever the fuck. I don't know. It's really sad, and it's a shame that people are disgusting, and you know, they get some kind of cheap thrill out of hurting other people, and it's disgusting to me. I don't know why they do it, but they do. But just be safe tomorrow. Have a wonderful time. Try to wear reflective costumes. I know that when you're out and about driving, you really have to keep an eye on, you know, the kids, because the costumes may not be reflective. It's supposed to rain tomorrow too.
A lot of them are doing the trunk or treat.
The trunk or treats, yeah. Which, okay, that's fine too. I mean, you know, the trunk or treats, okay, not a big deal. But a lot of the you know, like the littler kids, the toddlers, and like 5, 6, 7-year-old kids, the costumes aren't always reflective, and people like to drive like idiots, not paying attention. So tomorrow, if you're out and about driving through town or doing whatever it is you're doing, you have to watch for children. There's going to be kids everywhere, and in the combination with headlights on cars and porch lights and all that stuff, street lights, if you can't see kids, then you shouldn't be driving, because there's more than enough light to go around to where you can see kids. And yes, it goes both ways. The little ones need to, you know, because they're usually accompanied by an adult. So you just got to watch for traffic, watch for cars and all that stuff. I think trick or treat times generally are from 6 until 8 in a lot of locations. Some places go longer, I think from 5 until 7 or 5 until 8.
A lot of them have trunk or treat. A lot of them have to just pass out candy to the kids from their houses.
Yeah, and some of them go, like most places generally go a couple hours. I know there's places that go for 3 hours, like they go from 5 until 8, or from I don't know, 6 until 9 or something like that. But with a curfew, I mean, I think they're in by 9:00.
Yeah.
I think. So it's either from 5 until 8 or 6 until 8, something like that. But just have fun, get lots of candy, be careful, enjoy yourselves, and save your Reese's peanut butter cups for me because I love Reese's peanut butter cups. I am a huge fan of Reese's peanut butter cups or Kit Kats. I love Kit Kats. Yeah.
Thing out there for Heidi for getting her big deer.
Yeah, my cousin, she got a nice deer.
5 point.
Was it a 5 point?
5 point with a 14-inch spread.
Oh, 5 point with a 14-inch spread. I'm not a hunter.
Deer.
I'm not a hunter, so but I'm assuming that's a nice sized deer.
On state land with a bow. Crossbow.
Yeah, so good for her.
Good job, Heidi.
So okay, tomorrow's Halloween. On the 1st, we got to pay bills. I might be visiting with my mom on the 1st, which is on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, she's got to be in Ann Arbor. She's got an appointment down by the U of M hospital. So one of us is going to be driving down there. Probably, I don't know yet either.
Talking about taking his truck.
I got to sneeze.
No, we've never drove your truck long distance.
Excuse me, guys. Oh. But she's got to be in Ann Arbor on Wednesday. What time?
Got to be there by 12:30.
12:30 in the afternoon. Okay, so we're gonna have to leave early.
By 8 o'clock.
I studied the maps a little bit. I gotta study them some more. But I don't think it's that hard to find.
If we get there early, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's that hard to find though.
Yeah.
Because once you get on 23 from Flint, it's a straight run to Ann Arbor.
Yeah,
So,
leave about 8 o'clock in the morning.
and hopefully we won't get caught in any.
That's what I'm saying. We'll leave at 8 o'clock. That way, if
Yeah.
Detours or
Traffic, construction or anything like that, because 23 is usually always tore up with construction. When I went down to see my buddy Mark down in where were we? No, it wasn't Toledo. It was down in Detroit area. No. Oh fuck, I don't remember. I was gonna say Plymouth, but I don't think it was Plymouth. It might have been Plymouth. I went to see my buddy Mark. He lives in Ohio, and he came up for the MIS, the faster horses thing at MIS. And 23 was a nightmare, and 96 was a nightmare. I just couldn't believe it. But yeah, we're gonna leave early enough because and if there's any residual nonsense from the game last night, which I don't think there will be, but you just never know. You never know. I can imagine Ann Arbor was a fucking hot mess last night from all the shit going on. My point was proven last night. In fact, it was illustrated when it comes to having some kind of an emotional attachment to a football game, and it's terrible. That's what it leads to. These unhealthy, attachments to football games, and then when things go awry, when you don't get your way, when your team loses, then all hell breaks loose. I just don't see a point to it. What now? Yeah, stay focused. He's watching Bonanza, and his dogs are out there barking again. I don't know what the fuck he's barking at. The dogs are going to be out of here pretty soon, hopefully, because they had me up this morning before the sun was up. They had me awake from the constant barking. It's just stupid. What the fuck are they barking at all the time? I think it's the cats. It's the cats. They just don't shut up. Okay, so Amy had given me this bit of information here. It says police investigating post-game assault involving MSU and UM players. Police have launched an investigation into an ugly post-game fight in the tunnel at Michigan Stadium following Michigan's 29-7 victory over rival Michigan State late Saturday night. Tempers flared on the field as the closing seconds ticked off the clock, but cooler heads appeared to prevail until the tunnel, where several reporters heading toward post-game press conferences captured video of what appeared to be about 10 Michigan State players surrounding one Michigan player, with several Spartans landing kicks and punches. That's detestable. That's ridiculous. That one Michigan player appeared to be defensive back Jaden McBurrows. I'm mispronouncing that. I'm butchering the fuck out of it. Jaden McBurrows, who was on the ground in the middle of several Michigan State players. Really, guys? Really, Sparties? That's disgusting. When the player who appeared to be McBurrows got to his feet, Michigan State linebacker Itavion Brown grabbed him and tossed him through an open doorway at the end of the tunnel. Shut up! A Michigan State police officer grabbed Brown's jersey to hold him back. He should have, yeah, that's just disgusting. Can't even go to a football game. You know, I mentioned in the daily rant that I recorded around 2-3 o'clock this morning that it's not just football either. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm singling out football, because it happens in other sports that don't relate to throwing fists and all that shit. You see it with hockey. You do see it with basketball. I had to give that some thought before I went to sleep last night, because I actually said, well, maybe not so much in basketball. Oh yeah, you see it in basketball too. But it's mainly football and hockey where you see the players physically assaulting one another. But what I just read was absolute horse shit. That's just wow. Like, they had it out for that one player. That one player. 10 Spartans on one Wolverine. Really? Way to keep it classy, East Lansing. Way to keep it classy. If I was a coach of that team, I would be fucking embarrassed. I would be ashamed. Because now, and I did mention in the daily rant how possible sponsorship may be removed as a result of this, but now the coach of the Spartans, which I don't even know who the coach is. That's how much I don't pay attention to football. But now the coach has to answer to what happened, now that he's going to have to talk in a press conference. And I'm just kind of curious as to what he has to say about it. Because that's definitely not in the handbook. You know, that has nothing to do with seasonal training. And if that dog does not shut his motherfucking mouth, I'm going to go out there. But it's pathetic. It's really pathetic. Spartans, if you know better, you should do better. That was awful. I don't know. Sportsmanship has gone out the fucking window. It just doesn't exist. It's not a thing anymore. You were telling me last night, like when you used to play sports in high school, you know, you played football and you wrestled Dan the Beast Severn before he became famous. This guy here used to wrestle Dan the Beast Severn back in the 70s. You ran track, you played football, basketball, wrestling. My dad was very athletic in his younger days. Not me. I'm the complete opposite. But
when we won a game, we stand in line, and the other team would go by. We'd hold out our hands, and they high five
as you go by.
With them. If they won, we'd go down. If we lost, we'd go down there.
Yeah.
Good game. Good game.
It's called sportsmanship. What happened to it? I don't know. Maybe I'm making too big a deal about it, but it's terrible.
They put a lot of things in those guys' heads.
It's terrible. Well, that too, and you figure they think because they're on national TV, suddenly they're national celebrities just because they play for a football team, that they can just do whatever the fuck they want willy-nilly, and that there's no consequences. Well, there is. That was awful. In that article, were you in here when I read it? 10 Spartans on one Wolverine.
Yeah, one person.
Come on, Sparties. Come on, Sparties. Y'all need to get your shit together. Like, seriously.
If you had a problem with one, then one should have just done something, not 10 of them.
Yeah, that's
10 suspensions.
And 10 fines.
Yeah, they're going to get suspended too.
Yeah, and not to mention assault charges brought against them. Because that was pitiful. And I was just telling Amy too, it's not just football you see that. You see that with hockey and basketball. You know, and it's usually the sports that doesn't require punching. It's not UFC. It's not World Wrestling Entertainment, you know. It's fucking football. What are you guys doing? And speaking of football,
Basketball's not a contact sport.
well, speaking of football, I was actually invited to a Lions game today, but kickoff was at 1. I'm really not a football fanatic, but it kind of would have been cool to watch the Detroit Lions play in a game. I don't know who they're playing. Let me see here. Maybe perhaps I can look this up and tell you who they're playing today because I don't keep track of any of this shit. Detroit Lions. Oh, they're playing against the Dolphins.
Dolphins, yeah.
The Miami Dolphins.
The Lions already eat dolphins. That's their food.
So they're in the. I don't understand I don't know how to read this shit. Honestly, I could not tell you. The score is 31-27. Dolphins. Well, which makes sense because Lions, the Lions never fucking win. I don't know. Don't really care. But anyway, I was invited to go to a Lions game today. Kickoff was at 1. It's like, yeah, it's really not my thing. I don't care, Dad. I'm doing this. He wants me to watch the TV. Okay, so looking at the TV now to make Dad happy. It's Miami Dolphins. I said Miami, right? I don't know what the fuck I said.
It was the Dolphins and Lions.
Yeah, Miami Dolphins and the Detroit Lions. The Lions. That's the game I could have been at today, but I am not a football fan, so I don't give a fuck about any of it. But I do appreciate the offer, though. I do appreciate the offer and the gesture to my buddy JR, who invited me to. But see, the thing is, JR, I don't know if you're not going to be watching this now because you're at the game, but if you're going to go to Raw when they come to Detroit, or they come to Grand Rapids, or even if SmackDown comes to Detroit, hey, if you have an extra ticket, I'd like to go with you. I've never been to a live WWE event. You know, like with all the pyros and the spotlight or the lights waving and shit. I have never been to an actual live taping of Raw or SmackDown. I'd like to go, but no pressure, you know. Just a thought, because I'm really not much of a football fan, but you know. But Dad wanted me to look at the TV screen to, you know, watch a bunch of guys running in the field.
I'd like to see Looney Tunes doing that.
See Looney Tunes doing. We were watching Looney Tunes, and well, actually at first, you know, it was Tom and Jerry, because Dad was getting fed up watching the Michigan State game. And you know, it started out Tom and Jerry, and then came Wile E. Coyote and all of them. But I think Dad gets a kick out of it when Tom gets flattened into an accordion, and then he bounces when he walks. I like Tom and Jerry. Yeah, we were watching the Three Stooges. That shit was funny. It was an episode of the Three Stooges. It was called Spooks from 1953. And there was a person dressed in a chimp suit. And Shemp couldn't say chimpanzee. He said chimney pansy. And I about laughed my ass off. Chimney pansy. It's funny. It's just hilarious. I love the Three Stooges. I can watch them all day long. They are funny. But yeah, it was kind of an interesting week. I'm going to be, well, tomorrow's Halloween, so I'm not going to be doing anything tomorrow. I don't know unless Dad had something planned. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. Tuesday we have to pay bills. Wednesday we're going to be in Ann Arbor. Oh, and then on Tuesday I'll probably end up going up to visit with my mom. And yeah, and then Wednesday we'll be in Ann Arbor. So there's a couple things going on this week that we're going to be doing. And if you see any of us out and about, don't be afraid to say hello. We don't bite. We are friendly people. We do the best we can. And, you know, we mind our P's and Q's. We keep our noses clean. And we're out to survive, just like you watching at home or watching from wherever you're watching from. And the chat log's open, which I did make known before I went live here. There's already 25 minutes left in the show. Now, YouTube has done something different, I've noticed. They've added a tab on my channel. I don't know, for those of you who are also YouTubers, you create content. They've, like for the smaller channels like mine, they've gone ahead and added the community tab, which means that now I can add statuses, just like Facebook. I can add statuses. I can take pictures, upload them to my YouTube channel. I can let you know now if I'm going to have a show on a Sunday or not, depending on how I'm feeling or what's going on. But I can still let you know, but I just won't have to go and make a whole video just to say, hey, no Sunday video this week. I can just put it in the community tab, which makes it much more convenient. So YouTube, thank you so much for letting me use the community tab. Finally, I was really looking forward to, you know, I'm glad you guys are being more lenient and making changes for us smaller channels, because it gets hard sometimes, you know. I mean, making videos and editing and splicing, all that stuff is time consuming enough. But when you have to actually sit down and talk, or when you're just walking and talking with the cell phone or camera device you're using, you have to be careful not to edit certain details, or you have to be careful to not add certain details, but then you also have to remember to add important details. So instead of trying to figure out what you're going to say and what not to say, now we have the community tab where we can just type what we want to say and be done. And we don't have to worry about, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or, oh, I said this, I shouldn't have said that. Now we can type it and be done. So YouTube, thank you for making the community tab available for the smaller channels like myself. It is much appreciated. I don't give YouTube nearly enough credit for all the amazing things they do. I've had this channel now for about 7 years. This channel's been up since 2015. And I just been doing Sunday video updates for, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I'd say about 4 of the 7 years, maybe 5 of the 7 years I've been doing Sunday video updates. I don't know. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope to continue doing this for many more years to come. Whether I'm here or if I'm living on my own, I'll be doing the Sunday video, and I'll be coming back and keeping everyone informed on what's been going on. And yeah, I mean, I have over 350 subscribers, so my subscriber number did increase since last week. I just hope they're not trolls or people who are just here to start trouble. But I dispose of people who like to come and start problems, or they think they're going to get a rise out of me, and I just ban them and be done. But, you know, the chat log is open. And I did mention that in the community tab. The very first community tab post that I made on this channel, I actually said that the chat logs are open. Come on in. I'm going live at 3 o'clock Eastern time today. So make sure you tune in and check it out. Yeah, so YouTube did make the change, and I'm very appreciative of that. So it just makes it that much more convenient. And like I've noticed with Facebook too, like with a lot of the accounts, not Facebook pages. I'm talking like the actual accounts. They have, a lot of accounts have like the blue check mark next to them. It's to verify that it's the real person. Someone suggested that I look into that, maybe, somehow trying to get my channel not my channel, my Facebook page verified, my account. It seems kind of risky to me, because if I'm trying to verify my account and Facebook may declare that it's not really me, if I forget to show some kind of important documentation that would be required, and then they end up terminating my Facebook account or suspending it, I really don't want to take that risk. I don't want to take a chance. However, it might not be as difficult as most people portray it to be, and I might be able to verify my Facebook account. Although a blue check mark really, it doesn't mean much to me, because I know who I am. I know that it's really me behind the Facebook account. I have no interest or desire in trying to verify anything. I know who the fuck I am. I come here most every Sunday, and my appearance changed only because I shaved my head now and I'm letting facial hair grow out. Back in the earlier years of doing the Sunday video, I had long hair and I still had facial hair, but now I like to keep my hair short and I still have my facial hair. So that's really the only change of appearance that there is, but it's still the same guy. I'm still Jer Bear, have been, always will be. And I appreciate all of you coming in to say hello and being nice and civil and not giving me any crap, because, once upon a time, I felt that I should have held my tongue to keep the peace. Now I don't give a fuck. You come in here acting stupid, I'll have fun with you. I'll go around like a fucking dead mouse, and then I'll chew you up and spit you out. And that'll be fun too. But I really don't want to encourage that. I'm trying to, I haven't had any problems with anybody, and that's just the way I like it. But anyway, yeah, not a whole lot happening. I don't know, Dad. Anything been happening with you?
Yeah, the first of the month is pretty much busy.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. We got to pay bills.
We got bills on the first. The
Yeah.
second got to go to Ann Arbor. Then
Yep.
the third, Dad has to go pay bills.
Yeah.
Then the fourth, I go to
For doctors or what?
X-rays.
Oh, X-rays.
And then the 29th, I go to Dr. Alam again to find out more about how my
Right.
kidney is.
Right. So we're going to be busy the first week of November for sure, or actually this week coming up.
15th, I'll be out the woods.
Oh yeah, because it's opening day of firearm season, right? Yeah. Yep. November 15th. And November 16th, the day after that, I'll be commemorating 23 years of writing journals. That's a long time to be writing journals. I'm surprised I stuck with it for as long as I have. Who knows? I might stick with the Sunday video updates for about that long if I decide to carry on. But yeah. I mean, that's amazing. 23 years I'll be writing journals. I can't believe it's been that long. 23 long years, and a lot of shit has happened in 23 years. So much stuff. And before that too, there was a lot of shit that happened prior to 1999, but I've documented manuscript of everything that's happened over the course of the past 20 plus years. It's been a hell of a ride for sure. So this coming week is, according to Amy, this coming up week is going to be jam-packed. We're going to be busy. And of course, got to pay the bills, but I'm going to take a trip up to see my mom. She lives up near a town called Wademan on the other side of Mount Pleasant. Going to visit with her, make a day of it with her, because I haven't seen her in a while. And on the 2nd, we're going to be in Ann Arbor, and then there's other appointments. And then Dad mentioned the opening day of firearm hunting season on November 15th. So there's a lot happening, a lot coming up, which reminds me too. I know that tomorrow's Halloween, but wow, Thanksgiving's coming up too.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is coming up.
Yep. There comes that ham.
Yep, here comes the ham because we don't get a turkey. Turkey is the traditional Thanksgiving, but I don't really care for turkey. Um,
Dry.
and I guess it all depends on how it's cooked, but I can't cook turkey to save my fucking life. We prefer ham. I like ham.
Heck, the ham is
Um,
everything with it.
Yeah, ham goes with everything. I can,
Ham
you know,
sandwiches, ham and cheese sandwiches.
yeah, I'll have leftovers if I want to make sandwiches or if I just want to eat it as it is. I love ham.
Whoever heard of a turkey cheese sandwich?
Um,
Not me.
well, you can put ranch dressing, I think, on turkey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you can yeah, ranch dressing. Mayo.
Or turkey
Well, mayonnaise. Yeah, you could put mayonnaise on
I'll
turkey
take my
too.
ham, thank you.
Yeah, I've had turkey sandwiches before. They don't taste half bad.
Ham you can make bean soup with.
Yeah,
I've never heard of putting turkey in bean soup.
no,
That may not
but I've had turkey sandwiches. They're not bad. You got to have like a condiment to go on it, like mayonnaise or
Ranch.
ranch dressing. Yeah. I like ranch dressing on chicken. I know people who eat pizza with ranch dressing.
Well, if anybody's heard about that, a check you're supposed to be getting
I have no idea.
$500 some dollars.
We've been hearing stories about people receiving checks in the mail from the state for $500+ dollars.
Saying it's for the heating.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying that the people are lying. Maybe they are, because one of our uncles had mentioned that he had received one in the mail. But I don't know. We haven't received anything from the state. Not for, you know, an extra $500 would come in handy. But
Propane.
yeah, because propane is going to fucking kill us. It's going to obliterate our wallet this year. I have that awful feeling in the pit of my gut that we're going to be paying through the fucking nose for propane. I mean, it's I'm not looking forward to it. But we got to stay warm. We can't freeze to death, you know, so it's got to be paid. Property taxes aren't due until February of next year, so we ain't got to worry about property taxes, the winter taxes. That's not until February. We got plenty of time. The propane is what I'm dreading because I am just not looking forward to the high cost of propane. That it's just going to burn us. I just know it's going to. But yeah, call them tomorrow and find out how much it's going, or how much it's going for. Because we usually just get 200 gallons and it lasts us, you know, for quite a while.
We might have to get
Um,
2 of them, but usually it's like 1.
yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so that's what's going to be coming up on the horizon. We haven't gotten any, you know, snow that's worth shoveling or accumulating, or snow blowing rather. We haven't got any accumulating snow, but the Upper Peninsula has, and they got nailed with like 10 inches of snow. And I don't know what the situation is in the Upper Peninsula now. It still might be snow covered. I don't know. But I know that they really got walloped with some serious snow. I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for that to come down this way just yet. Can you just hold off for a minute? Let us get prepared. Yeah. In the middle of November, that'd be great. You know, or even like the late or early December. Let's wait for the snow to come then. That'll give us plenty of time to prepare for you. It's just, yeah, we got to get the house winterized. It's going to be, I have a feeling we're just going to get a lot of cold air. I don't know about the snow. We might get walloped with some snow. Because for the last couple of winters, we've had a lot of brutally cold air.
Not snow.
Not so much in the way of snow, but
Cold.
just really frigid cold. And it's weird because if we're, my philosophy is if we're gonna get all the cold air, why not get the fucking snow with it?
They have the snow because
Yeah,
it blankets the
yeah,
ground and it stays warm.
yeah. The snow, yeah, like Dad said, it blankets the ground and it keeps all the moisture. Like the coldness, it
On the ground.
keeps it to the ground, but then that snow dissolves. Like when the temperatures warm up, the snow dissolves, and then it makes for a slushy, mushy setting, and that's never really any fun. But at least you can drive. The roads aren't a mess. I'm really not a fan of driving in the winter because the roads get to be so shitty, just so awful, and yeah, it's just not pretty driving in the snow. Now, looking out my bedroom window and seeing the landscape blanketed in a fresh fall of snow is beautiful, especially when the sun comes up in the morning and it sparkles on the landscape. It's beautiful. Or when the trees are snow capped, like when we wake up in the mornings and we see all the trees that got snow on them, and the pine tree over here at the neighbors is snow capped. It's beautiful. It's really pretty to see it. It becomes a winter wonderland, as they call it.
Uh-oh.
But what?
Guys are gonna lose.
Well, is that any surprise?
No, it's funny.
So JR is down there
Yeah.
at that game. He invited me to go, and if I would have known yesterday, I would have prepared and I would have canceled today's Sunday video update, but that's fine. I can still do the Sunday video update. I've got other things I got to do this week anyway, as I've mentioned, as we've pointed out. So we're down to the last, I'd say, 8 minutes of the Sunday video update. I wanted to once again remind all of you that your viewership is always appreciated. I thank you for being subscribed, and I thank you for watching the Sunday video update this week. And every week, I appreciate you. And contrary to what you've been told about me, I'm actually a pretty easygoing guy. I'm pretty laid back. I'm nice to everybody. Never mean any harm, but sometimes, you got to call a spade. And when times come up where you have to defend yourself, well, that's just what you got to do. But generally, I mean, if you treat me good, I'll treat you good. I'm a pretty harmless guy. What's that?
Right there.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Thanking each other. The Dolphins and the Lions are going up, giving each other hugs and shaking their hands. Good game.
Yeah.
See? That's the way it should be, right there.
Now there's good sportsmanship.
Right on.
A dolphin and a lion are hugging it out. That's the fucking way it should be. Kudos to the Dolphins and the Lions. That's cool shit. That's the way it should be. Yes.
That's sportsmanship right there.
Sportsmanship has not died. Not completely. Because I just witnessed it on national fucking television. So, Dolphins, Lions, good for you guys. Spartans, you can watch and learn. Watch and fucking learn. You can hug it out. You can be good friends and still be on opposing teams and still get along.
Yep.
So thank you to the Dolphins and the Lions for setting that precedent. And once again, keeping sportsmanship alive and well. Thank you. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it just
irritates you when you've been to the hospital and you were down Lansing and they got to play like that.
And here's another thing you have to consider. A lot of those Spartan football players just recently went to Sparrow to visit the kids in the hospital, and that's how they want to behave at a fucking football game? Wow.
Yeah, they want to look at the people in the hospital, kids are going to look at them and go, what?
Like, why did they do that? They came to the hospital to see us because we were excited to see them, and that's how they treat people?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
It's awful. But maybe I'm making a mistake of putting it on the entire team when it wasn't the entirety of the Spartan football team. It was certain individuals. But they said in the report or the article that I had just read from Amy, because she handed me her phone, she said it was 10 guys, 10 Spartan players on one Wolverine. And how many guys are on a football team? 11, 12. That's most of the fucking team. That's a majority of the team. But the point I'm trying to make is that the majority is not the entirety. So I don't want to blame all of the Spartan football team because not all of them obviously were involved. I can look that up. How many players on a football team? Well, shit, there it is. Oh, there's 11 players. So it was all but one player from the Spartan football team, all but one player who was not involved in that altercation. Actually, how many players are on Spartans football team? It might be the same. I don't know. How many players are on Michigan State's football team? It doesn't give a number.
24, 12 on.
I don't know. In any event, I think it's awful. It's just awful. It's detestable. But what I just saw between a player from the Lions and a player from the Dolphins, that was great. Sportsmanship is still alive and well. So I can breathe. I can relax. But I also mentioned in the daily rant that, it should be up to the parents to teach their kids about sportsmanship, not so much relying on athletes. Although not all athletes are out to do physical harm to players on opposing teams, but there's always that chance. There's always that chance. And so the parents have to step up and teach their kids about sportsmanship. You can lose, you lose with dignity, and you move on. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be, folks. All the time. So we are down to the final 3 minutes of the Sunday video update. My name is Jared Fuller. Thank you so much for stopping by and indulging me for the last Sunday video update in the month of October. I will be back, maybe be back next week. Let's see, which is let's see, what is next week? The 6th, November 6th. I'm looking at the calendar on my phone. November 6th is next Sunday. I'll probably be back for that. Oh, I'll be here. I don't have anything planned on November 6th. Oh, and I think this is election week too, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
November, I think midterms or whatever it's called. I don't fucking know. I vote. Last week I said that I might vote. I'm not going to vote. Don't count on it. I'm not getting involved in that shit.
I don't comprehend none.
I understand it enough just to not get involved in it because it sounds like a big ball of fucking bullshit that I don't want to get involved in. There's going to be people who have their opinions and their thoughts on that. Well, not voting is also a vote, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I just don't get involved in it. I am a registered voter, but I don't care. Y'all are going to do what the fuck you want to do anyway. It doesn't matter what we say. Government kind of does what it wants. So we're down to the final minute, guys. Is there anything you wanted to say before we go?
Peace out, be safe.
Yeah, we
Enjoy your weekend.
lost. I'm beat your ass now.
Dad and his humor. But anyway, guys, that's about going to do it for this edition of the Sunday video update. Once again, my name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jer Bear. I'll be back next Sunday, November 6th. Same time, 3 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, that's about it. So Have a wonderful week. Happy Halloween. Be safe and get lots of candy. Like I said, save out the Reese's peanut butter cups for me because I'll just eat the shit out of those all day long. And just be safe and have fun and happy Halloween. And I'll see you guys next week. Ciao.